Hey guys, I wanted to make a quick video and get some stuff off my chest and also let you in on a little bit about me that you may not know. So, in the earlier days of my music career, I'd have no problem showing up to shows and events early, networking with as many people as I could, staying out late, usually leaving the venue or the event about the same time that the staff left or the venue was closing. And my goal wasn't so much to perform as it was to network. However, the older that I've gotten, the less this has appealed to me, and so as a result, the less that I've done it. There are several reasons for this, and although I don't feel I owe anyone an explanation, I'd still like to give one. The older I've gotten, the more antisocial I've become, and not just in music, but life in general. Even when I have to go to the grocery store, I'll still wear a mask, I'll wear my beanie, I'll usually wear sunglasses, a jacket, or a hoodie of some kind, and pretty much try to cover almost my entire face and body. I mean, I rather enjoy the transparency and the privacy, although considering I almost always wear black everywhere I go, I guess that's not exactly transparent. Needless to say, I'd rather not interact with anyone if I can help it. Don't get me wrong, I still try to be cordial to anyone that talks to me, but I'm more brief and to the point when I talk, more or less. So much of this transparency, whether directly or indirectly, is a result from previous experiences in dealing with people, and I really try to avoid it if I can. Some might call this antisocial behavior, which I would agree. However, reason for this behavior goes far, far deeper for me than I would sometimes care to admit, which I would like to express in this video. For those that don't know, I'm a professional musician, and out of the many jobs in which being a professional musician entails, the primary job is entertainment. And it's my job to entertain, and I truly love what I do. Let me also just say this. Although there's money to be made as a musician, others practicing other professions look down upon musicians, not considering what we do as real work or playing music as a real job. Let me be clear in stating that as much time, energy, finances, blood, sweat, tears, emotions, and spirit that you put into your profession, so many of us musicians do the exact same. And in a lot of cases with professional musicians, the amount of time we put into our craft would equal, if not surpass entirely, the amount of time in which someone from another profession would invest. This is not just some little bullshit hobby that I like to do on the weekends. This is something that I live and breathe for all day, every day, nonstop. And I take no shame in admitting that this is what I'm good at, and I have no thought or consideration in doing something else. Music is where my heart, soul, and passion are. And understanding how passionate I am about my craft will hopefully also help you to understand a little bit more about my, I guess, antisocial behavior. So let's pause. Let's say I'm going to have a conversation with someone that I'm not familiar with. So, a stranger. And we're going to talk about religion, for example. Within the context of conversation, the moment someone attaches you to a movement or an idea or a philosophy or even a profession, it's a biased opinion to what that person already thinks and knows, or what they think they know. And this is true for everyone. So I'm not acknowledging that factor. But within the same context, the moment that someone attaches you to these things, they assign all the baggage and everything associated with it to you. And when you try to have a conversation with them, they will assert that they already know everything important there is to know about you because of that association. And that's not a healthy way to have a conversation. Now, let's take the religion topic out of it and replace it with musician instead. You have the same result. And it's because of this that many people, including my friends and even my family, I'm seldom to talk to about many things because their opinions of my choice of profession, as if I had one, or the way in which I do things are completely contradictory to the way that they would do things. And just a second ago, I said, as if I had a choice of choosing a profession. You can't help what you're good at. You're just good at certain things. And I'm good at music. And so at the same time, I really wouldn't want it any other way. Anyway, it's because of this association that many others' opinions become biased from the moment I tell them what I do. And from the moment that I feel like the conversation is like one-sided, I'm done with that conversation and conclude that I can't have a conversation with that person in future, as there's a high probability, if not certain, that the conversation will be too one-sided, which I have no intention or interest in having. And I guess the same could be said from the other person talking to me, but anyway, I digress. Understanding that first element helps to lay a stable foundation for my lack of interest in being social, despite the fact that as an entertainer, it's my job to go out in front of people and entertain them. When I go up on stage, whether it's in front of 30 people or 30,000 people, you're going to get the same result from me each show. That's just how my business ethic works, and that's exactly what it is. It's business. It just so happens that I love what I do, so in many circumstances, I don't view it as a business at all, even though that's what it is, and I still treat it as such. When I hit that stage, I'm at work, and I'm not there to be buddy-buddy with every person at the event and converse with as many people as I can. I'm there to work and, by definition, promote and sell a product for my business, just as any other business with businessmen or businesswomen would do. And rather than going up and trying to sell my product by talking to as many people as possible and putting that product in their faces, I detach myself from that element and I just let my music do the talking instead. Now, some people in the music business would disagree when I say that you don't have to force your product into the faces of potential buyers, meaning you don't have to network to sell your product. But that's a whole other topic for a whole other video. There are numerous reasons why I don't go up to people at shows, one of which is due to the assertions in which I stated earlier. Another is that people are fucking scary, dude. I've had some pretty confrontational introductions to people, and myself being non-confrontational, I don't handle that awkwardness well at all. That shit gives me anxiety, and in some extreme cases can make me paranoid to some degree, which is the last thing that I want to fucking worry about. I would rather hang out with my gear or at the hotel or in the tour bus or in the green room and just pump myself up for the show, go out and perform and do my thing, and then when the show is over, come back to a private area and then just relax after the show. Don't get me wrong, I love going to the merch table and signing autographs and taking pictures, but as far as small talk or making friends, I'm not so much invested in that. Another reason for my antisocial behavior is that I have an extreme sense of humor, and I can literally find humor in anything, including the most sensitive topics and subjects, and a lot of people can't handle that. I brush that shit off and I take it for face value, so it's pretty hard to offend me, especially if you're trying to talk shit about me to me. I mean, I'll be the first person to tell you I'm fucked up. You don't have to point it out to me. In this day and age, everyone is offended by everything. So what can you say that's not offensive or someone will take out of context or take offensively? Rather than stress myself out over who finds what offensive, I'm just myself around them, and if they dig it, cool. If not, fuck them. Also, because I have no desire to be social, it's just as difficult to meet new people and go on dates and things like that. I get it. I have a dad bod and I'm not the best looking dude, but fuck it. I found that people are more interested in what type of person you are rather than how you look, which is pretty much the same way that I feel. But you wouldn't know that without talking to me about it. I'm open and honest about a lot of things, but again, going back to the antisocial aspect of it, I'm pretty defensive about who I let in on my life, thoughts, and ideas. The more that I've tried to open up to people about not only exploring their ideas, but also my own, the more I've learned about myself and also learned who's worth my time and who isn't. I can tell you the exact moment in which I had an extreme sense of anxiety where I realized I was antisocial. I was sitting in a bar called Reno's that's in Dallas, just by myself. There were lots of people in the bar, and since I don't drink, I was just there basically just to hang out and say hello to friends who were coming in and out. The majority of these people I knew, but I had this weird anxiety wash over me, and at that moment I realized that being surrounded by people that I knew and some of whom I didn't know, I just for some reason felt completely alien to them. I felt far away and alone, even though I was surrounded by people. That was a random, dark, and unsteady emotion that hits you in a way that few can, and I truly hope that none of you have ever experienced that. Anyway, so I left after that, and anytime that I feel anxiety coming over me like that, I bail, and I would much rather just enjoy my own company anyway. So I've been rambling on about this for like 11 minutes or so, and I really appreciate everybody listening. There are a ton of things that I didn't cover, but in all honesty, those are just things that I'd rather leave unsaid or are not important enough to be relevant to this topic anyway. The bottom line for me is that I have little to no interest in going out and meeting people and talking to people, and yet at the same time, I really try to force myself because I understand that isolation, both physically and mentally, is not healthy. Then again, the same could be said for forcing oneself to be subject to things in which they dislike or are uncomfortable with. At the time of making of this video, it's May, which is Mental Health Awareness Month, and although I could give two fucks less about what Awareness Month it is, I have questioned for some time about why I am the way I am, and I do attempt to continually make efforts to try to become a better person, be more active, and subject myself and be more open to ideas, not just about general mental health, but my own as well. I'm sure in time I'll make another video corresponding to this one, but on some other random topic. But in the meantime, be safe and be kind to one another because someone needs that kind of kindness in their life. Good energy and good vibes. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Oh, and Epstein didn't kill himself.
Smoke weed every day.